In the annals of our time, there's a rich tapestry of stories that are etched into the soul of humanity. Stories that inspire us, touch us, and propel us forward. This is one such story. A story that unfolds in an unassuming diner on an ordinary day, where destiny chose to weave together two lives from completely different walks, creating a ripple that would echo through the corridors of their worlds. Imagine, if you will, it was another run-of-the-mill morning at Mary's Diner. The smell of coffee brewing and bacon sizzling permeated the air as waitresses moved rhythmically around tables, serving regular customers with practiced ease. Among these waitresses was Lisa, a vibrant young woman with dreams bigger than her small-town life could offer. Each day she wore a smile brighter than the sunrise outside, even though times were tough and making ends meet seemed like an uphill battle. Now imagine this. On this very ordinary day, into this very ordinary place strolls none other than Clint Eastwood. Yes, you heard right, the Hollywood legend himself. Known for his emblematic roles as hardened gunslingers and renegade cops, graced our humble diner with his presence. But he wasn't here to shoot a scene or partake in some publicity stunt. He was just passing through town and stopped by for breakfast. As fate would have it, Lisa was assigned to serve him. She approached his table nervously but maintained her composed demeanor, honoring him with respect rather than fawning over his celebrity status. A choice which perhaps resonated well with Clint's low-key personality. Throughout their brief encounter, filled with polite conversation and warm smiles, exchanged over cups of piping hot coffee and perfectly scrambled eggs, something sparked between them. An unseen connection beyond mere words or gestures. A human connection based on mutual respect and shared sentiments, enriching both their lives in ways they never anticipated. As Lisa went about her duties for the rest of the day, she couldn't shake off a certain sense of surrealism that floated around her. Here she was, an ordinary waitress from a small-town diner, and there he was, Clint Eastwood, an iconic figure whose films were as much part of American culture as apple pie or baseball. Finally, it was time for Clint to leave. But instead of just paying his bill and walking out like any other customer, he did something unexpected. He penned a note, a simple piece of paper folded neatly beside his emptied coffee cup. As Lisa unfolded the note and read its contents, her eyes began to glisten with unshed tears. The words written in that note struck her like a lightning bolt straight through her heart. What could have possibly been written that caused such profound impact? Was it some form of critique, or perhaps some words of wisdom from one who has seen so much and lived so grandly? These questions might be swirling in your mind right now. Curiosity pricking at you to find out more about this extraordinary interaction between two individuals who were worlds apart, yet connected by fate in such an unexpected way. Well, my friend, brace yourself for when I reveal what was written on that note. It will not only surprise you, but also touch your heart deeply. It's not just about the encounter between Lisa and Clint Eastwood. It's more than that. It's about humanity's ability to connect across class divides. It's about how kindness can transform lives. It's about respect shared between people regardless of their social standing or fame. So sit back and let me take you on this emotional journey, where reality seems stranger than fiction. Where an ordinary black waitress serves breakfast to Hollywood royalty, only to receive something far precious than tips. A gift wrapped in simplicity yet profound in meaning, making her burst into tears. A tale which teaches us that life is indeed full of surprises, and sometimes it's the most ordinary of days that hold the power to transform our lives in the most extraordinary ways. Let's embark on this journey together as I unravel a tale that will leave an indelible mark on your soul. Imagine being a waitress working at a small-town diner. The kind of place where everyone knows everyone else. The air is thick with the scent of fresh coffee and sizzling bacon, and the clatter of dishes and silverware can be heard from dawn till dusk. You're used to seeing familiar faces, farmers, truckers, teachers, all locals who come in for their daily caffeine fix or Friday night comfort food indulgence. Now imagine this. On an otherwise ordinary day, you look up from pouring yet another cup of coffee to see none other than Clint Eastwood walking through the door. No longer just a picture on your TV screen or a name whispered in awe amongst film buffs. There he is in living color, larger than life yet somehow still human. Clint Eastwood, an icon whose raw talent has transcended generations. whose tough guy charm has left audiences captivated for decades. The man with the squinting gaze that speaks volumes more than words ever could. Yes, that Clint Eastwood stands before you in this humble diner. Your heart pounds like a drum solo as you try to regain your composure. With shaky hands, you lead him to a booth by the window. His preference as he mentions casually over his shoulder while scanning the room with those signature piercing eyes. Throughout his meal, chili fries and black coffee if we're painting details, you force yourself to stay focused on your tasks but find yourself stealing glances at him every so often, observing how he interacts with his environment and savors his meal just like any other person would, just like you do. As he finishes his meal and prepares to leave, he scribbles something down on a piece of napkin before handing it over to you wordlessly, leaving just as discreetly as he came in. And your heart pounding louder now echoes through your ears as curiosity gnaws at you about what was written on that small piece of paper. You unfold the note, and as you read it, an overwhelming wave of emotion washes over you. You burst into tears right there in the middle of the diner. The message on that napkin was a momentous turning point. Not just for you or your routine life, but for everyone around who had been a silent spectator to this unexpected encounter. The words written by Clint Eastwood, words so simple yet profound enough to trigger such an emotional response, become a testament to his character beyond the silver screen. They reverberate through your mind long after he's gone, leaving behind more than just memories of his presence. They leave behind inspiration, gratitude, and an overwhelming sense of connection with someone you'd previously only known from afar. This story is about ordinary people having extraordinary encounters. It's about how a simple act can profoundly impact someone else's life. How kindness goes above and beyond status or fame. These stories exist everywhere. In diners, parks, city streets everywhere where people have the power to touch one another's lives without even realizing it. So let us journey further into this tale, unraveling its layers together as we discover what exactly those words were that brought tears to our waitress' eyes, why it affected her so deeply, and how her life transformed post this incident. Remember though, these are not just tales about celebrities or their acts of kindness. They're about humanity at its core level, where compassion, empathy, and connection bind us all together in ways we often overlook amidst our daily hustle-bustle. So sit back comfortably while I spin this tale for you, my friend, a tale that will leave an indelible mark on your soul. Imagine this. You're an ordinary person, living out your life in the rhythm of days and nights that form the melody of existence. You work at a small-town diner, pouring coffee and serving meals to faces both familiar and unknown. It's routine, but there's comfort in it. It's mundane yet intriguing because every day has its own story. Now picture this. One day, Clint Eastwood walks into your diner. Yes, the Clint Eastwood your heart skips a beat as you recognize that iconic face from countless films that have thrilled audiences for generations. He takes a seat at one of your tables, the weight of his presence filling up the room, creating ripples of excitement among the other customers. But you're a professional. You approach him with the same warmth you extend to all your patrons. You take his order. He's surprisingly simple with his choices. Black coffee and an apple pie slice. He seems just like another regular customer enjoying their meal. You serve him with trembling hands. After all, how often does one get to cater to such legendary charisma? And then something unexpected happens. As he rises to leave, he hands you a note. A small piece of paper folded neatly on which words are scribbled hastily, yet carefully, imbuing mystery into an otherwise ordinary day. Intrigued but maintaining composure until Mr. Eastwood exits the diner amidst hushed whispers and awestruck glances from others present there. You open the note, and then everything changes. The note reads something so profound that tears well up in your eyes instantly. It's not a compliment or flattery. It's far beyond trivialities like these. It says, "From what I've seen today during my brief visit here, I can say without hesitation, you're much more than just a waitress serving meals. You're serving kindness wrapped within smiles, lifeline for those lonely souls who find solace in this diner. Keep up the good work and remember, We all have the ability to make a difference in our own little ways. Such powerful words coming from someone you've admired on screen for so long. That note wasn't just ink on paper. It was a validation of your worth, an acknowledgement of your contribution in ways you never really considered before. It spoke volumes about the impact one person can create, even in seemingly ordinary roles. Now imagine how that validation transforms your life. Every cup of coffee you pour, every slice of pie you serve takes on a new meaning. You're not just feeding stomachs, but also hearts and souls with compassion and care. This is not merely a tale of an unexpected encounter with Clint Eastwood or about his gracious gesture. This story is much bigger than that. It talks about acknowledging the unseen heroes around us. The ones whose contributions often go unnoticed yet form the backbone of our everyday lives. The waitress represents each one of us striving to do our best within our capabilities. Her story validates those efforts by emphasizing how they matter more than we realize. And it took none other than Clint Eastwood to remind her, and through her, all of us, that no act is small when done with kindness. That everyone has the potential to touch lives, to be extraordinary, in their unique way. So next time when we're lost amidst mundanity, let's remember this tale. Let it inspire us to appreciate those around us and reflect upon our deeds. Because who knows? Maybe you are making more of a difference than you think. And as for that black waitress who served Clint Eastwood, well, she continues pouring coffee and serving meals at her diner. But now, with an added sparkle in her eyes, a spring in her step, and an invaluable note tucked safely into her pocket, reminding her every day about the magic woven into ordinary roles. Magic discovered through tears, welling up over handwritten notes from legendary movies. Every day, she would unfold the note and marvel at the simplicity of its message. Never stop dreaming, it read. The words were penned in Clint Eastwood's own hand, a man who had made a career out of turning dreams into reality on the silver screen. You see, this wasn't just any note. It was an emblem of hope from one of Hollywood's greatest legends. A simple message that echoed through her mind every time she faced adversity or felt herself faltering under life's pressures. The story goes back to a regular Tuesday evening at Frank's Diner, her usual shift eye. She was serving tables as usual, pouring coffee with a smile and chatting with regulars when in walked Clint Eastwood himself. After serving him his meal and exchanging pleasantries, he'd left her the note along with his autograph before disappearing into the night. The note was like magic, weaving itself into her everyday life. It transformed mundane routine into extraordinary motivation. Remember how you felt as a child, when dreams were tangible realities awaiting your grasp. There was no hurdle too high or dream too ambitious, because everything seemed achievable if you worked hard enough. She held on to that feeling tightly each time she read those 3 words, never stop dreaming. She began applying this mantra to all facets of her life, not just her job but also personal goals and aspirations. Her passion for artistry reignited. She started painting again after years of neglecting her beloved hobby, each stroke filled with determination fueled by Clint's inspiring words. Just imagine for one moment that you're in her shoes, working a 9-to-5 job yet nurturing an audacious dream inside your heart. Wouldn't such encouragement coming from someone who has scaled great heights make an enormous difference? In fact, let me share another similar tale that will resonate deeply within you. A practical case etched permanently in history books. Consider J. Harrowing story, a single mother barely scraping by on welfare. She had an idea for a story about a boy wizard named Harry Potter. Despite repeated rejections and numerous hurdles, she held steadfast to her dream. Today, the world knows J.K. Rowling as one of the most successful authors in history. So why do these examples strike such a profound chord within us? It's because they remind us that our dreams are attainable regardless of where we come from or what we do. They tell us that we should never underestimate the power of belief, resilience, and persistence. Every day since receiving Clint Eastwood's note, our waitress became more than just someone serving tables. She transformed into an artist shaping her own destiny, one brushstroke at a time. She started submitting her artwork to local exhibitions and competitions. Every rejection letter was met with renewed vigor to improve and try again, just like J. K. Rowling did with every publisher who turned down Harry Potter. I want you to think about this. What if tomorrow morning, while getting your cup of coffee or boarding your train to work, you find your own version of Clint's note? What if it reminds you not to let go of your passion no matter how challenging life gets? Wouldn't it spark hope in your heart? Wouldn't it inspire you to push through barriers holding you back from realizing your dreams? Our lives are built around stories. Stories that uplift us during hard times and motivate us towards achieving great things. Just like our black waitress who received an unexpected note from Clint Eastwood or J.G. Rowling struggling against odds stacked high against her. In essence, remember that magic isn't found only in fairy tales or legendary movie stars. It's woven into ordinary roles played by people like you and me. People who dare to dream big despite their circumstances. And most importantly, never stop dreaming. Just imagine, if you will, how the mundane becomes magical. A waitress named Mariana, serving tables at a small diner in Arizona, routinely working hard just to make ends meet. Like countless others on similar paths, she nurtures a cherished dream: to be an actress one day. You see, dreams are not exclusive to those born with silver spoons or golden tickets. They flourish even amongst those who juggle bills and tips. Mariana was no different. She had her share of struggles, but held onto hope like a lifeline. One ordinary day turned extraordinary when Clint Eastwood walked into the diner. Yes, the legendary actor-director himself chose this humble establishment for his meal that day. Mariana's heart raced as she approached his table to take his order. That unmistakable face was right there before her. Eyes, she mustered up all her courage and served him with utmost professionalism while trying to contain her excitement. Don't you wonder what she might have felt? Here was someone living her dream. Someone who had risen from obscurity and made it big in Hollywood. A beacon of inspiration for millions worldwide. As Mariana served Eastwood throughout his meal, she couldn't help but reveal her aspirations. He responded kindly and offered encouragement. Little did she know what would happen next. Eastwood finished his meal and scribbled something on a napkin before leaving the restaurant, casually dropping it on Mariana's tray as he passed by. It was a note, with words powerful enough to change Mariana's life forever. Remember those moments when an unexpected gesture filled your heart with joy? This was one such moment for our aspiring actress, but magnified manifold because it came from none other than Clint Eastwood himself. She unfolded the napkin with trembling hands. It read, "To Mariana, never let anyone kill your dreams. Believe in yourself. You have what it takes. Best wishes, Clint." The simple yet profound message led her to burst into tears. It was a validation of her dreams from someone she admired greatly. That's the magic of encouragement, isn't it? A kind word, an affirming gesture. They can move mountains and spark hope even in the darkest corners. This note wasn't just a piece of paper. It was tangible proof that dreams could come true. Mariana cherished this note like a precious talisman, a constant reminder to keep pursuing her ambition. She began attending auditions with renewed vigor, each rejection only fueling her determination to prove herself. And guess what happened next? Mariana finally got her breakthrough, a role in a local theater production. It might not have been Hollywood, but it was indeed a start, a stepping stone towards realizing her dream. You see, Clint Eastwood's note didn't magically transform Mariana into an actress overnight, but it did something more potent. It ignited within her an unwavering belief in herself. It reassured Mariana that she had potential, that she deserved to chase after and achieve whatever she set her heart on. Remember how we said dreams are woven into ordinary roles played by people like you and me? Well, here's living proof a waitress dared to dream big and found inspiration from one of the most celebrated icons in film history. Life has countless ways of surprising us, transforming mundane moments into magical ones in places we least expect. And while we can't always control these events, we do have control over our reactions, the decisions we make when faced with these opportunities. So remember Mariana's story as you navigate through life's ups and downs. Don't let your circumstances define you or deter your dreams. Instead, let them fuel your ambition. Let them drive you towards success. After all, who knows when the universe might conspire to bring about your own extraordinary encounter? Maybe tomorrow, you're just another hardworking individual. But the day after, you could be the protagonist of a tale as inspiring as Mariana's. Sometimes, life comes at us in chapters. There are those that are exciting and full of adventure, some that are slow and gentle, filled with love and warmth. And then there are those that seem to be written just for us, the ones that bring tears to our eyes and leave an indelible mark on our hearts. Mariana's story is one such chapter. Imagine the scene, the usual hustle-bustle of a busy diner intersecting beautifully with the quiet simplicity of everyday life, creating a breathtaking symphony of clinking cutlery against porcelain plates, murmured conversations punctuated by hearty laughter, and quick footfalls echoing amidst the steady hum of human existence. In this cacophony, Mariana, a black waitress working her shift, found herself serving Clint Eastwood. This was not just another customer for her, but a legend whose aura resonated through every corner of Hollywood. But little did she know that this encounter would evolve into something far more significant than an ordinary act of service. Just like any other day, she donned her apron with pride and served him with utmost sincerity. Her diligence reflected in every steaming cup of coffee poured and each plate delivered piping hot from the kitchen. She treated these moments as much more than transactions. They were connections formed over shared smiles and brief exchanges, small yet profound encounters, shaping her life one day at a time. As Clint Eastwood got up to leave after his meal, he left behind something unexpectedly momentous. A note from Mariana scribbled hastily on a napkin tucked under his empty coffee mug. An unassuming piece of paper bearing words, powerful enough to transform an ordinary day into an extraordinary memory. With trembling hands as anticipation coursed through her veins like electricity, Mariana unfolded the note only to find herself looking at words so incredibly uplifting they brought instant tears to her eyes. Tears out of pure joy mixed with disbelief. In this simple act of kindness, Clint Eastwood had not just acknowledged her hard work, but also made her feel seen and valued in a world that often overlooks the contributions of many like her. This was not merely about recognition from a renowned public figure. It transcended beyond that. It was about humanity, compassion, and the ability to touch someone's life profoundly with mere words. A lesson for all of us nestled within this extraordinary story. What if we all can cultivate such empathy and understanding towards one another? The power of an affirming word or gesture is immense. It has the potential to uplift spirits, mend hearts, inspire dreams. This story reminds us how even in our seemingly ordinary lives we can make extraordinary impacts on others. So here's to Mariana, her humility touching hearts across the globe and sparking conversations about love, respect, and equality. Here's to Clint Eastwood, for reminding us that fame does not diminish one's capacity for kindness, but instead amplifies it. And here's to you, the listener, absorbing this narrative unfolding before your very eyes. May you carry forth these lessons into your own world, spreading warmth and positivity wherever you go. May you remember that every interaction is an opportunity to create meaningful connections, to turn everyday moments into unforgettable memories, to transform lives with gestures big or small. Remember, you don't necessarily have to be a Hollywood legend or a waitress working at a diner. You could be anyone, an artist painting their dreams onto canvases big enough for the world to see, an entrepreneur shaping ideas into reality one innovation at a time, or simply someone navigating through life trying to make sense of it all. Each one of us holds within them the power to create change in our unique ways. So next time when life hands over its script full of unexpected twists and turns, embrace it wholeheartedly, conspire with fate, and who knows, you might find yourself starring as the protagonist in your own extraordinary story, just like Mariana. Before we part ways, let's revisit that quiet diner for a moment. Can you smell the warm coffee and hear the gentle murmur of human connections being formed? Amidst it all stands Mariana, with Clint Eastwood's note clutched tightly in her hand, a smile playing on her lips and tears glistening in her eyes. The embodiment of an ordinary person living an extraordinary life. Remember this image. It is a testament to how powerful simple acts of kindness can be. And as you look upon your own life, your individual chapters, may you find within them not just stories but lessons, inspirations, and perhaps even a note left behind by someone who saw something special in you. And when that happens, may your heart fill with joy. May your eyes well up with grateful tears, as did Mariana's, and may you know then, without any uncertainty, that this is your moment. This is what makes life truly extraordinary.